People change people. It's one of my favorite quotes. And the interesting thing about this quote is that it's not from an ancient philosopher or world-famous leader, no. Not even from a deep poet. This quote comes from one of my favorite television shows, Girl Meets World. Yeah, I watch Girl Meets World. But what's really great about this quote is that it challenges the more common notion that people can only change themselves. I have a theory that people are kind of like planets, and each individual has their own personal gravity. And this gravity is created by the people that are closest to them and keeps us grounded through both the best and the worst of times. The only thing that makes anyone worth anything are the people who mean everything to them. I also believe that at the highest level of human existence you can possibly reach is not like a revolutionary who moves the masses or an innovative tycoon of industry. No. Not even a spiritual leader with tons of wisdom who can levitate on air and walk on water. I think the highest level of human existence possible is probably like an old wise grandmother who bakes bread and teaches life lessons. And if we were somehow to find one of these ancient godly grandmothers who had somehow retained all the memories from their past incarnations, she'd probably tell us that she did all that other crowd-pleasing crap several lifetimes ago. And now they have returned to take on the true challenge of being a grandmother and embarking on the work of actually enacting the worth inside individuals as a grandmother. I also believe that arguing about religion is like having debates about why babies are cute. Most babies. Or like giving a lecture on why you have your mother's smile when it just is a part of you, like God is, because God is. But so often we attempt to cut the Most High out of our skin like a blind surgeon, performing malpractice on ourselves when no surgery is even needed. The cures to the diseases that we're seeking actually exist within ourselves, as if Khalil Gibran pays rent for the biological tenets living as remedies inside of our arteries, and we always act like we gotta say the Lord's name as if it isn't already in vain. Looking up at the sky for help, hope, God, aliens, and receive nothing but chemtrails staring back at you, wrapping your face in the clouds like it's the Shroud of Turin trying to bleed out stars because everybody seems to know who God is, as if you aren't and only they are, as if they had Jesus' jism in a jar. However, I know what faith looks like because I have seen her pull God from her womb like a Christ-created C-section. And no matter how difficult the hardships were when growing up, all I remember, me and my sister, happiness was all we felt because my mother always kept a smile as bright as sunlight or as bright as the sun's light, as if she had the words to Nikia Rosa by Nikki Giovanni inscribed inside herself, because black love is black wealth, and you will never know who God is until you find what faith looks like inside yourself. Faith has nothing to do with the belief in things not seen. I actually know what it looks like. It is a brown lady with bad knees and the best baked goods you ever tasted. The ability to never quit, laugh at your own hardships, and rise a weary spirit from a mattress at 6 a.m. like bread that is leavened. And I have her smile tattooed across my face like joy, like graffiti plastered on a subway train headed for heaven. And God is my grandmother, with the divinely given ability to pray force fields in front of households, causing bullets to bounce back. See, I am certain the religion is not real, but I am sure that God is. I just told you, she's my freaking grandmother, Mary Louise Jenkins, and nobody better not say nothing about Miss Jenkins, or otherwise, that would be blasphemy. And when I die, I want God to be at the burial with a smile in her pocket and a joke in between his teeth, laughing at everyone for crying. And I want the poem on my tombstone to be so short and poignant that you won't even need a single syllable to recite it. Just a thought of thankfulness from my heart to your eyes, grateful for the precious time that I spent here with you. And I bet that God is the best stand-up comedian we've ever seen. But we're always so busy looking for all the answers that we hardly take the time to laugh. And before you know it, that was the end. I was just thirsty. But language is a really phenomenal thing. Because what do words really mean? Nothing. Not until we collectively decide to assert meaning to them. But the real question people ask is, do words really have power? Well, what if I told you not only do words have power, but that they've proven it? Not with poetry, but with science. See, they do these experiments with water, where they take 2 cups of water, and they talk to the cups of water. And in 1 cup of water, they say all kinds of horrible and negative things to the water. You suck, water. I hate you. Why are you even here? You're not even good at being wet. No one wants to drink you. I can't stand your nasty ass. Then in the other cup of water, they say wonderful, positive things. You're awesome, water. You're the best water in the world. You're so delicious. You sparkle when you flow. I don't even deserve to have you in my mouth. You are quintessential to my very being. And then they take the water and they analyze it under a microscope. And they look at the molecules, and it's revealed that the water has been drastically altered. The molecules in the water that receive the negative and horrible things, the molecules have broken down, turned pitch black, and become almost hazardous to even drink. In the other water, the molecules are bright, vibrant, and colorful, some of the most amazing crystallized-looking molecules ever discovered, some of the most greatest and pure drinking water you can imagine. Now, if we as humans are mostly water, and all throughout your lives, you walk around having negative poured into your water, vice versa, positive poured into your water, what will happen to your water? And more importantly, what will happen to you? So all the time, all over the world, throughout all of our lives, people are constantly changing people on a molecular level. Science. Here's a funny story. Wait. I love you. You complete me. So, when me and my sister were really, really young, every Saturday morning, we take all of our stuffed animals and spread them at random locations all over the house. Then proceed to hunt them down one by one. We didn't have a TV at the time, so I guess we got really creative in entertaining ourselves. When my mother caught wind of what we were doing, she was appalled and said, "What's the matter with you crazy children?" And the prize animal was always this yellow and green stuffed brontosaurus named Dolo. Dolo the dinosaur. When she found out we were hunting Dolo, she immediately sprung into action because Dolo was a dinosaur, damn it, the last of his kind. So one Saturday, in the middle of our silly safari, we recognized that Dolo was missing until we looked out the window, and there he was, walking down the street. Paws actually positioned as if he was placing one prehistoric step in front of the other. So we rushed to receive and retrieve this majestic creature before he could escape. Afterwards, my mother took a magic marker and drew a heart on his chest. She said, "This means you have to promise to never hunt Dolo again, because now he is alive." It's funny how we take the most precious things for granted, as if they'll always be with us forever, like mothers, or dinosaurs, or every single creature on the planet. This is a fading memory murmuring into a child's heartbeat, a white rhinoceros of regret, a blue whale swimming into oblivion. One time there was this guy, right, named Lawrence Anthony, who in the middle of the first Iraqi war, he rushed into the middle with bombs dropping everywhere and ran into the zoo and tried to free the animals. Several years later, in his native country of South Africa, he would go on to free several herds of elephants and save them from extinction. A couple years later, when he died of a heart attack, a herd of those same elephants came for 12 miles and sat in his front yard in mourning, as if somehow they just knew that their friend had passed, had felt his spirit shift from one world into the next. In his best-selling book titled The Elephant Whisperer, he said it was never really about him listening to the elephants, but being willing to hear what they were saying. When I die, forget a funeral. I'd rather have a wedding. Marry me to the planet. Sprinkle my ashes over the ocean like confetti. Let's have a honeymoon on the moon and do schizophrenic dances in zero gravity that make us look like deranged children, because damn it, we are. The universe's loudest whisper that somehow we forgot how to listen to. And please don't post paragraphs of praise on my Facebook wall. I can't read that shit from Stovercore. Instead, I would rather have all of the loved ones and all of my loved ones march in an elephant-like procession right up to the edge of forever, led by an army of youth poets screaming stanzas and madness and binary that only fireflies can translate. And I'm not even sure anymore if this is a poem about mothers, elephants, or how as human beings it often takes the presence of death to actually make us feel alive. When we were really little kids, my sister and I would sit outside at night with our mother and watch the sky, and we'd marvel at the stars. The moon used to sing to us, so one night we decided to sing back. The rule was that when it got late, as soon as the moon went back into the clouds, it was time for bed. So we invented a song to keep the moon out of the clouds. It went, "Hey, little Moony, stay out the clouds, stay out the clouds, stay out the clouds." Everybody. "Hey, little Moony, stay out the clouds, stay out the clouds, stay out the clouds." And it freaking worked. For 2 whole hours. The moon didn't go near a single cloud. I think my mother really started to regret her own rule. See, back then, we believed in magic because we believed in Mom. So magic was real because Mom was real. And she still is. Dear Mom, did you know you were an elephant? Because you never forget how to love. So a few years ago, once again, I found myself gazing into the night sky. And I had an amakanu. An amakanu is a word that I invented. We poets tend to do that sometimes. But an amakanu is an epiphany multiplied times infinity raised to the power of googolplex. Basically, a super epiphany. And while looking at the stars, I heard my spirit animal, Carl Sagan, whisper into the wind, and suddenly I knew the truth. I had the answer to everything. We are stars. And again, this can be proven, but not with poetry, with science. Damn science. You crazy. It can take the light from the most distant stars up to 13.5 billion years to actually reach our eyes. But here's what's really deep about that. If time and space is relative, then you're not looking at the stars as they are. You're looking at the stars as they will be or as they were based off your perception of space and time. And here's where it gets even deeper. Deeper. When you're looking at the stars, you're seeing points of light that take that long to reach here. So what if those same points of light that reach here takes that long to reach there? So you're looking at yourself, looking at yourself, looking at yourself. Wow. Oh my stars. And that's not just your mind being blown, that's a star exploding. And those points of light being transmitted and transformed into life all over the universe. Then it expands into a planet, a solar system, a galaxy, explodes again, and turns back into people. And all life forms. Damn universe, you crazy. So what is righteous alchemy? It's knowing that the difference between working for a living and living for a living is never feeling dead as long as you're alive. Do you know what my latest amakanu was? Do you? My latest amakanu was, fuck poetry. People are more important. Because it's really not about what the poem says, but much more about what the poem can do for the people who are impacted by it. The best poems aren't even poems. The best poems are people. And editing is synonymous with eternity. Maybe we're all just microphones, blessed to be turned on at that moment when the universe decides to speak through us and to the venue that is our lives. Maybe it's a transmuted human beam of light, God's favorite breakdance move streaking across the sky at night. Perhaps you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. However, you can't change anything by yourself. People change people. Harriet Tubman once said that she freed thousands of slaves. But she could have freed thousands more if only they knew they were slaves. Freedom. Freedom. Free. Dumb. We ain't free, we dumb. Lost and divided, misguided children walking through death's dark valleys and glorified ghettos, the sun blocked out by our own shadows, snatched and ripped, taken away from the very titties of our identity, sucking simple-minded sustenance and abundance from the bosom of conditioned living, or black embarrassment television licking crack-laced semen from the white diseased penis tips of Willie Lynch's descendants, and you already swallowed and digested because speaking life through mics and entertainment has faded into the pixelated arrangement of a rare occasion like Twitch, just mind your business. Just mind your business. Crack babies are ice skating on the frozen, frustrated landscapes of cold, castrated tongues because local politicians who act like leeches on the skin of the people would be better off without one. Tossed on the cross, crucified at the cost of a lost generation, and neither grandma nor Jesus can save them, slaving in the workplace for payments so the BG&E don't turn your place into a damn plantation. No, we have not made it, and if Asada ain't pardoned, then ain't nobody made it. Free, dumb, free to be dumb. It's already over. Obama has come. And you are free to be dumb as shit, talking out your backside, holding a 2012 election ballot filled on toilet paper, too complacent to wipe away your own ignorance, wallowing in fecal filled self-satisfaction. Niggas got me twitching, trigger finger itching, ripping up on my black history books and effing effigy while I'm spinning because Rosa had a seat, King woke up and got shot back to sleep, and then Obama gave a speech. And that's it. Ain't nobody been to no mountaintops yet. Malcolm X's grandson lived in the projects. I was probably supposed to write this like 6 or 7 years ago, but nobody was ready yet. Beyond dick ride, and you was gargling, Kool-Aid flavored semen from Barack's nutsack spitting out hope. And I see Sasha and Malia following Michelle and Big Daddy O on the go, and it's oh so cute, but word to Umar Ben, that shit is a real bad TV show. I ain't instigating just for the sake of historic euphoric race relations. This is unadulterated truth propagated through the mic. You think this is rebellious? I have not yet begun to write. The bastard babies of Elijah Muhammad pop locking inside of Medusa's womb while she vomits ebonics laced with sex, cess, and death. Mind, body, and soul all woven into the mess. The truth posted in plain sight on the Facebook walls of our life, and we won't even read it. Illogical, technological optimism presented in the form of gentrified chicken, and we love to eat it, but believe it when I tell you the revolution will not be tweeted. Free, dumb, free to be dumb. You ain't free, you dumb. Free, dumb. Are we free or dumb? Free, dumb. Freedom!